Okay, now it is Thursday. It's in the afternoon at 5, little after 5 p.m., uh, February 24th here in New Jersey. I just posted that last video moments later. Now I'm just doing a follow-up. I want to explain a few things. I hesitated to put that video up. As I said in it, I was going to post it at about 4 a.m. in the morning after I loaded it, but I waited for certain reasons. So now it's more than 12 hours later, and I did decide to post it. A lot of the things I said, I don't know a lot about all of this. I don't make any claims that I do. I was just speaking my mind, what I thought. I'm sure I'll find out more information, that might enhance things that I'm thinking, or might change certain things. But so that I put the video up, and again, I had reservations. I just wanted to wait. And so earlier I woke up late because my schedule was all messed up, but in the afternoon here I woke up and I came across Amir Sarfati. If you don't know who he is, a believer who lives in Israel, has a large ministry, prophetic and teaching and so on. And I've known about him for a long, long time. And doing a search, on YouTube about Ukraine and the update on it, again, I came across his channel, and I had listened to a video he did 2 days ago, not moments before the actual invasion took place. So I might put that video as a link, and also the video I'm talking about I didn't go into yet, that I just saw a little earlier, which sort of gave me more information and understanding, and even confirmation of the things that I said, because I wasn't sure of the things I was saying. I was just saying what's off the top of my head from the things that some things that I have known even from long, long ago with regard to Russia and expansionism and so on, and prophetically Ezekiel 38. So I was glad when I listened to this video that I just heard that he really echoes like my own thoughts on a lot of things. So I said, well, that's a good sign that I might not be that far off on certain or many things of what I'm saying, although I did give us, sort of a speculation and the possibilities of what things could lead to in the U.S., particularly, and in the world, and prophetically with Russia and the Ezekiel 38 war and the rapture. And when we see these things, then we can look up, knowing that these signs, these events are imminent or about to happen, though we don't know what's going on there right now with Russia and Ukraine, how that will escalate or how fast. But it does seem like it's the start of all of this. It truly does. So that's why there's a momentous import to these events, I believe, in every way that's happening at this moment. That could very well just be volatile and escalate possibly very quickly. We don't know, into a major world situation, and even unfortunately might involve thermonuclear problems. So one of the things I mentioned in the last video, and I think the video before that, was to watch Israel and Syria. Yeah, I think that's the focus here. And what I said in the last video, I know it was very long, I'll try to make this shorter, was that I was wondering in the morning or in the day now as I woke up to see if there were any developments with Israel and Syria. That's what I was looking for and sort of wondering and expecting, last night before today, before I even got up, before I even heard that video by Amir Sarfati, and he did mention that there were developments, I guess, overnight and into today, that I don't know what the details are, but there was something going on with Israel, with Syria, and I don't know if Israel launched some kind of, defensive hit there, and also there was about involving Iran, and that was my concern too. And that's sort of like, so I don't think I'm that far off on what I'm thinking here. So that sort of like came to pass today in a certain way. There's tensions, newly broiled things boiling up, going on again right there with Syria, and now I don't know this whole story, but Iran, something going on there too, and Syria all together in this, and of course the backdrop of Russia, behind the scenes of everything. And like I said, I'll probably just leave those links to those videos by that man, that believer in Israel who lives there, who's right there reporting on this and has seemingly much knowledge on all of this that, I'm hearing about and coming to an greater understanding of what's really going on there. And I also mentioned that usually in things like this, quote unquote usually, but this is a not typical situation, seemingly very serious, that things tend to die down and calm down after something like this happens. And maybe that, eventually after today, maybe into the weekend, I don't know if it's going to calm down, and then you might see this big meeting, again, world leaders on TV on, let's say, Sunday. That's a sort of a big opportunistic day. The whole world is watching everything. So maybe there'll be like sort of a lull, I don't know, for a while here, at least into the weekend, until they try to, do more talking and talking. Talk is not going to do anything to any of this, or sanctions. Nothing whatsoever. If there's nobody that's going to stop this, going to stop him, the leader there of Russia, then, nothing will stop it. It'll just keep progressing if there's no intervention and something to contain it and to go against such, aggression. That itself is a big part of this issue and problem, because again, it's like if you have somebody trying to force their way upon others and no one sticks up for themselves and sticks up for others, then they just keep going. They trample over everyone and everything because there's nothing to stop them. Your words aren't going to stop them. Your sanctions, your hopes, your pleading, if that's the case, that would be good, but I think that's not realistic whatsoever, especially in this situation. Really, I haven't really gone over things. I'm sort of behind the curve here, behind the curb too, if you want to. That's another story, but I won't get into that. As far as what's been happening today, I just heard a little bit what's going on, but I'm not really caught up and up to the moment on what's been happening or what's ready to, or what they think is going to happen today into tonight, or the next phase of things, if that's going on. I don't even really know right this second. And I have to mention this because there's a lot of confusion and thoughts, and people have their preconceived ideas about what you're saying, or your intent, or your heart, or the way you present yourself. I'm talking about toward me or anyone else, but let's say toward me here. There's nothing whatsoever that I'm presenting that I'm trying to bring fear. That's ridiculous. That's the first point, or that I'm afraid, or that I'm not at peace. And absolutely none of those things are true with regard to me doing this, or taking an objection to my tone or manner when it can and really is appropriate, at certain times to do that. to sound a certain way, and there's really nothing particularly wrong with that. I know I come on strong, but at many times, but I'm fervent for the truth in speaking that, especially when there's so much opposition, and there always has been, and it just has never been accepted. Whether that, I'm not going to get into all this, but I'm just making a quick point. Whether it's doctrine or disputing, someone wants to dispute about this or that, or even prophetic scripture or whatever. Well, I say this, I'm trying to say this nicely, and I have to say this, but don't take offense, but unfortunately, to someone who may go not accept this, it's my channel. I can't help that. I'm the person doing it, and these are my thoughts, my opinions, and that's what I believe and think. And so I don't invite disputes or saying things and trying to refute and prove someone else's point. These are my points. These are my, whether it's spiritually, biblically, doctrine, or whatever. This is what I say, what I fervently believe, and it's the opposite. I'm not trying to cause dissension and disputes and bickering, or seeming to have a bad attitude or something. I think it's the opposite out there. Unless it's really called for, I won't engage someone. I'll just remove the comment, or if it gets bad enough, I'll just boot them from the channel. I don't like to do that. I'm not trying to be mean, but I have to, especially those who come on. They're not even believers. I don't hold that against anyone either, but they are know-it-alls. They are inflammatory. They are personally insulting. They want to pick a fight. They want to come against what I'm saying. Again, this is what I'm doing here as my channel. This is my thoughts. I have the right, anyone does, to say what they feel they should say. So, be my guest. Go do a video and present whatever you feel, you want to say. We're not all professionals here. We're not doing this, you have to be perfect and in every single thing you say. But this is also a spontaneous thing, even a social media on YouTube. So there's a lot of aspects of being on YouTube or whatever, making videos and saying things. I don't want to keep going on this and belabor all of this, but it's just my point about this. I had to really get this out and make a point about this. There's just not many at all believers on YouTube who might speak as sternly as I do, and kind of in a no-nonsense way, and you could take that as ever you want to, but if you don't see, what's at someone's heart and what's really going on with them, then you're going to make your own conclusions, and that's fine, but don't put that on me, please. We're all ourselves. We're all different. We all have our own things about us, mostly that others don't even understand or know. And if they did, then maybe they would have more compassion and understanding, and not be, quick to look and see and jump to conclusions, unfoundedly. Although I don't care. Again, what I mean by I don't care is, that's fine. Say whatever you want to say, but if I feel don't want it, or it's not good for me to accept it, I'm not going to engage or get involved in any of that, especially with such serious issues and topics, even doctrinally. Just quite bluntly, I'm really tired of it all for years and years and years, and really I don't have the desire to deal with any of that anymore. I'm not young in age either. That's not a cop out or anything, or any other thing, but it is a good point to make, and I don't mean to diverge on this, but it is a good point, to not jump to conclusions about anything or anyone unless you really know and understand, and with your heart, I'm trying to say, with your heart, not just the mind, then, that's the result that is going to be toward others. You might not think so, but I'm kind of sad saying all of this, because it is a kind of a sad thing. And again, it's a very important point. The heart, looking at on others with your heart, seeing their heart, seeing the heart of Jesus, God's heart, and so on. And God hates sin. We know that. God is love, yes, but God judges sin, and God is angry and will judge in anger. And Jesus also, you know, that's a part of it too. So a righteous anger. Jesus had a righteous anger. But I mean, it seems like, at least from my perspective, that no one wants to step on really anyone's toes. And bottom line, that's a good thing. We never, want to do that. But at the expense of what? Of anything and everything else? No, that's not good either. So I want to stop this now. I didn't expect to go into this, but it's on my heart right now, and of God's Spirit, I think, to say this. There is, I don't want to say heaviness, like a downness. That's not what I'm talking about. But a gentleness, a gentle need to say this, sort of like a sorrow. Unfortunate the way things are, maybe always have been, misunderstandings and problems that, friction or coming apart of between other believers for whatever reason, doctrinally, or trying to take my stand for the truth in spite of, I don't know, really hardly others having the same manner or what I say, doctrinally, or what the gospel is, whatever. So, yes, as I'm progressing saying this, it is making me even more sad to have to say all these things. But again, on the other hand, I'm just not gonna. I just can't put up with any of this stuff anymore. I don't want to deal with it and respond, and as much as I can, I try not to engage or react or respond or get into some kind of issue or conflict or whatever it is, whatever it may refer to, or someone feels toward me, or what they think of me, or my presentation, or my attitude, or whatever it is. I feel God's peace and love by His Spirit to in me speaking these words right now. It was necessary for me to say that, and I hope you sense His Spirit through me in what I have said, and can see, others' hearts more clearly if that's something that needs to happen. Okay. So in closing, maybe I'll be back possibly with various videos. I've been thinking of doing all different kinds of videos for quite a while here that I haven't put any up. But since this development, now this is seemingly the new phase or the new thing here. I covered La Palma up to the point that this seemed to end, but I don't believe it's ended, period. I think that's still going to happen. So it's like another phase. I don't know if I'll continue to, this is sort of a phase now with what's happening with Ezekiel 38 and the war, and again with the rapture prophetically. So to whatever degree or more videos I might do and continue to cover this. So, and of course, with Jesus appearing, okay, there's a lot of people having dreams and visions right this moment. Have been having them very, very recently here. And really the word is Jesus is coming really, really soon here, really quickly. And so that's what my hope is, and that's, I'm sure, all of our hope. All of us are hoping for this to happen, right now. So, okay, I hope you lasted, to hear all of this. It was important to me, getting this from my heart. I said all these things. So I guess I'll go load this. And like I said, I just put that other video up. It was pretty long, so um, only moments ago, basically. And then after that, whatever, if I feel, to come back here for whatever reasons, I will. If not, then I won't. So just please be, at peace and at rest. No worries, no fear, nothing. Just let God's Spirit be in you and over you, and His blessing and peace be upon you. God bless you. Amen.